Jay's chatting with New York's legendary ex-mayor Rudy Giuliani, plus video voyeur Angie Harmon, and Grammy nominee India Ari. Your local news is next.
Straight ahead.
The people of Hawley and Diaz Chemical go face-to-face tonight. I'm Berkeley Breen. Coming up, the latest on the chemical accident and the cleanup.
Plus,
a student goes on a shooting rampage at a Virginia law school. 3 people are dead tonight. We'll tell you why he did it.
and
cold tonight and some wet snow expected. I'll show you how much you can expect with first full weather in the first 10 minutes.
Now, here's the latest from News 10 NBC. America Strikes Back.
There is new information tonight about the man who tried to detonate a shoe bomb on board an American Airlines flight. And back here at home, people who live in Hawley face off against a chemical company.
Good evening, I'm Brian Martin.
I'm Janet Lomax. There were fireworks tonight in Hawley.
New at 11, the people who live in the village are still upset about the chemical release earlier this month. Tonight, hundreds of neighbors met with the Diaz Chemical Company. Berkeley Breen is live in the newsroom with more on that. Berkeley?
Well, Brian, at the meeting tonight, it was pretty clear that the people who live in Hawley are still very mad that they weren't warned immediately about the chemical accident. But you also get the sense that their animosity against Diaz Chemical has a long history. Around 200 people filled the high school auditorium in Hawley. The first thing they got was an apology.
On behalf of Diaz Chemical and all the employees of Diaz Chemical, I want to apologize for any inconveniences and for the concerns that we created.
The chemical accident happened January 5th. 75 gallons of chemicals and water spilled onto nearby homes. It wasn't the first accident at Diaz, but people still wonder what this one did to them.
I hope this is the shock that this community needs to realize the hazards that we are living in.
Andrew Saul knows the hazards. He's a chemist. He called for an extensive village-wide cleanup and for Diaz to give the same respirators it uses to every person in the village.
This time, when we have to evacuate, we can do it. Don't tell us that we won't know how to use the cartridge respirators or the breathing apparatus properly. Clifton will learn.
I'd like to know why there wasn't some public notification the night of the spill.
We made a judgment call that we felt minimized the amount of risk to the people in the community by not sounding alarm and getting more people out and rustling around in the area.
Now, no matter what answer Cliff Jenny gave, it certainly was going to please the crowd. He did say one thing that they liked, though. Diaz is no longer producing that chemical that spilled. It's a new one, and its long-term effects are still unknown. The State Health Department says it should have air and soil test results back. Could be as soon as this Friday, too. Reporting live in the newsroom, Berkeley Breen, News 10 NBC.
The 13-year-old boy charged with killing his father in Shelby will be back in court tomorrow morning. Prosecutors say Timothy Adams shot his father, Angelo Adams, at their home on Monday night. State police say Adams then shot at a state trooper after the boy took off in a car. Adams is charged with second-degree murder and attempted murder. He's being prosecuted as a juvenile offender. If convicted, Adams could face 9 years to life in prison.
The man who police say went on a shooting rampage today at a Virginia law school is now charged with 3 counts of capital murder. It happened at Virginia's Appalachian School of Law in Grundy. Authorities say the 43-year-old student from Nigeria walked into the offices of the dean and another professor and shot them. He shot and killed a student and wounded 3 others before students tackled him to the ground. Officials say the man flunked out of school last year and had just been suspended.
Southwest Virginia is a family, and this will be felt not only in Grundy, but I know all over Southwest Virginia, and for that matter, all over the state, and our sympathy goes out to the families involved.
The school just opened 5 years ago. Classes have been canceled for the rest of the week.
The battle continues over whether a huge soccer complex should be built in Greece. Tonight, the county's advisory board held a public meeting. They want to build that complex at the Greece Canal Park.
I think that there are a great many people who are tired of the kind of representation where we've had people tell us what we want to do or what we should do.
Ed Probitzian says it feels like the county has already made up its mind that that's where the soccer complex is going to go. He's one of about 40 people who showed up at the Greasetown Hall to hear from and speak to the county's Soccer Complex Advisory Board. The proposed facility would be used by local teams during the week and for tournaments on the weekend. The tournaments are expected to draw teams from all over the Northeast. Proponents say that would bring in millions of dollars of revenue. Opponents, many who have put signs up on their lawns, say the complex would ruin the park and its wildlife and create traffic problems. One county legislator says this is not a done deal.
We need to get some experts and some consultants out on the fields there in the area there and let us know, is this a practical place to put 22 soccer fields? Are we going to be doing any damage to the environment? That's a big concern that I have right now.
And Fred Amato says he expects to see some funding come through in the next month or two to get that kind of study going.
A wild chain of events ends with Rochester police arresting 3 teenagers. It all started when Rochester police got a report that 3 men had robbed a man of his wallet and groceries on Green Knolls Drive. Police say the 3 took off in the man's Honda. They crashed the stolen car into another car in front of Monroe Middle School. News 10 NBC captured the exclusive video of how it ended. The men tried to make a run for it. Police found 2 of the teens in a dumpster, the other one in a woman's bathroom in Monroe Square. Rochester's police chief was in his car at the time. He rushed to the scene.
And I just simply yelled out, you know, there he is down the alley, and then the cops went down the alley and got him.
Found 2 in the dumpsters, and Chief Duffy was the backup officer who helped take them to custody.
Police say the victim was not injured.
Richard Reed, the alleged shoe bomber, is facing 9 federal charges tonight, including attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction. Today, the U.S. government filed a 12-page indictment against him. It says he was trained by al-Qaeda and tried to blow up an American Airlines flight. Reed was on board and tried to light his shoes, which had explosives inside, but the crew and passengers overpowered him.
But for the vigilance of the flight crew and the courage of the passengers on Flight 63, Richard Reed may have succeeded in what today's indictment charges was his ultimate goal, the destruction of Flight 63 and the 197 people on board.
If convicted, Reed faces up to 5 life sentences.
A man claiming to be a former Taliban financial supporter turned himself in to U.S. Marines at the Kandahar airport in Afghanistan today. One Pentagon official says the man was not on the U.S. list of wanted men, but investigators were, quote, jumping with joy at the chance to question him. Some of the al-Qaeda and Taliban prisoners being held in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, are vowing to kill an American while they are there. U.S. officials say they're not going to let that happen. Another group of prisoners arrived at the U.S. Navy base in Cuba this afternoon. There are now 80 prisoners total.
A coffin with the remains of a U.S. Marine killed in Pakistan is on its way home tonight. That coffin was loaded onto a cargo jet in Kandahar. The runway darkened so it would not be a target for attackers. The Marine was one of 7 killed last week when their refueling tanker crashed into a mountain and exploded. A U.S. Navy jet crashed in Savannah, Georgia today. The pilot was able to eject and is fine tonight. There was a problem with the plane's nose gear when the pilot tried to land. The pilot, based in Atlanta, was on a routine combat training exercise.
RTS says one of its drivers was attacked by a student riding the bus. It happened this afternoon along Clifford Avenue. RTS says the man jumped up, struck the driver in the head, and shook her. The driver says she had to swerve to avoid hitting a telephone pole and slammed the bus into park. Police are questioning the man, who RTS says is a student at the School of the Arts. The driver has some bruises.
AirTran, a low-fare airline, is coming back to Rochester. Governor George Pataki took part in the announcement at the airport this morning. AirTran will begin flying to its hubs in Atlanta and Baltimore starting March 14th. A typical walk-up fare to Atlanta, for example, will be $200. Currently, JetBlue is the only other low-fare carrier in Rochester. AirTran offered flights to Orlando back in 1996 until 1998. You can start buying tickets again. The phone number is 1-800-AirTran.
Now, bringing you Western New York's most advanced forecasting technology, here's meteorologist Richard McCullough in the 10 NBC Weather Lab.
Well, Looks like winter is making a gradual return to Western New York. We'll take a look at the 5-day forecast. Well, yes, we do have a little snow out there this time. Let's go to our 10 NBC Weather Lab triple Doppler. And if you're in some of the western counties, you notice that light snow coming down at this hour and up in, let's say, Albion and back toward Batavia and even portions of Wyoming County, let's say down in Wyoming County and let's say Warsaw, getting a little snow at this time. We're going a little closer and show you that the snow has been coming down rather steadily in the last 45 minutes or so. This is light snow. If you're down in Leroy or Pavilion, even Attica getting in a little snow right now. But basically, we're looking at some light snow coming in tonight, and it will be a little slick as you start your day tomorrow morning, so you might want to leave just a little bit early for your day tomorrow. 32 degrees currently in downtown Rochester. High temperature for today at the airport was 34. 28 was the low temperature at the airport this morning, and here is your 5-degree guarantee for today. 30, we actually saw 34. Tomorrow I say we'll see a high temperature of 33 degrees. In fact, for tomorrow, expect a rather slow commute because we haven't seen much snow around here in the last several weeks or so. So snow showers tomorrow morning. Generally, we're talking about 1 to 3 inches by the morning hours, and then by morning hours to around noontime, you might see an additional inch or so. So be careful in the morning hours. High temperature for your day tomorrow, around 33 degrees, and then by the afternoon, maybe a few more scattered snow showers. Here's the snow system. It's a small storm system. It's got a decent amount of moisture associated with it. It will bring that light snow our way. We're already seeing it across portions of Indiana and Michigan and also Ohio. But here's the band of snow. It's all snow. We've got some cold air in the low levels of the atmosphere, and actually it's very cold to snow as much as it possibly can, but we're only going to see a few inches or so. 32 degrees up in Ontario, 29 degrees currently down in Perry, and we have 29 degrees currently over in Pinyin. Right now at the airport, we're down to 30 degrees. Winds are south-southeasterly at about 7 miles per hour. And your forecast for the overnight, expect light snow, generally 1 to 3 inches by the morning hours. So do take care if you're driving. We'll see a low around 26 degrees in the overnight period. This is not a major storm for us, as you well know, but we haven't seen much snow thus far this season. The storm system will gradually move away. By tomorrow, we'll see in its wake some scattered snow showers by tomorrow afternoon, and then by Friday, with the approach of this front, we'll see just a few scattered snow showers, but I think a better chance of some lake effect snow once this front clears our area by Friday night into Saturday. You might see just a few bands setting up across the region with that cold air riding across the lakes. Here's your forecast, though, over the next 5 days. 30s tomorrow, 20s for your Friday once that front moves across the region. And into Saturday, temperatures in the upper 20s, about seasonal for this time of year, and then back up into the mid-30s and low 30s by Sunday and Monday. So do take care.
We will.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, a company that created a plaque for a Martin Luther King celebration makes a major mistake.
That story is coming up. Also, a dump truck slams into a restaurant in North Carolina.
An important study has just been released on premature babies and their long-term development. I'll have the details in tonight's medical checkup.
I'm Rich Funky. Tonight on sports, both the Amerks and the Sabres are on the road. College basketball takes center stage locally with an upset in the Chase Tourney. And the Bonnies host the Temple Owls coming up.
News 10 NBC is brought to you by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
Please prepare for landing.
The incredible comfort, style, and selection of the chairs at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries are enough to knock anyone off their feet.
You may leave your chair in the fully reclined position.
Home furnishings need help? Then you need to know one thing. Factory authorized clearance. Right now at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, find limited time savings on select home furnishings. Get there soon. Factory authorized clearance going on now.
Drive an hour, save hundreds. It's Skinny Atlas Furs annual January 1st sale. All furs discounted up to 50% off. That's right, up to 50% off store-wide on all furs until January 21st. Drive an hour, save hundreds. Choose from a huge selection of mink, beaver, and raccoon coats and jackets at Skinny Atlas Furs annual January 1st sale. Save up to 50%, but only till January 21st. So drive an hour and save hundreds. Skinny Atlas Furs, 42 East Genesee Street, Skinny Atlas, New York. At Floors, our selection of floor covering options is so endless, this commercial could last for 6.5 days. During our grand opening celebration, the guaranteed lowest prices just got lower. Quality carpet for a low 33 cents. Laminate flooring now 99 cents. Ceramic tile only 99 cents. At Floors, the price is always right. The plain and simple fact is nobody does floors better than Floors. Quality floor covering from A to Z. Floors, open now in Victor and in Rochester.
Every morning on the way to work, Greg tells you about his new RX 300. The wood and leather-wrapped steering wheel, the Lexus DVD navigation system, the vehicle skid control, the 220 horsepower VVT-i V6. You're starting to hate Greg. You want his RX. You can have it for so much less than Greg claims he paid for it. By the way, Greg's no single-digit handicap either. See Dorschel Lexus.
To lose weight, I use Dexatrim Natural. It's a dietary supplement that helps me eat less, and its dual-action metabolizer burns more fat and gives me added energy for my healthy lifestyle. Drug-free Dexatrim Natural. It's a natural.
Fighting pain's not the same after the Icy Hot Patch.
I'll put it on, and the pain's gone.
The Icy Hot Patch's concentrated relief goes on icy to dull the pain. Gets hot to relax it away for hours of relief.
It's still working.
The Icy Hot Patch. Pain has met its match.
You're watching News 10 NBC. Live, local, and up to the minute.
Key players at Enron and its auditing firm knew about problems with that company months before its collapse.
That story tops our newsline. Congressional investigators met with David Duncan this afternoon, a senior auditor at Arthur Andersen. Duncan told them he knew in August that an Enron whistleblower warned about the company's financial practices that eventually led Enron into bankruptcy.
In Miami, U.S. Customs agents make a huge drug bust. More than 4,200 pounds of marijuana found hidden in coffee barrels on a cargo plane from Venezuela. The pot has a street value of more than $4 million.
1,000 people who live in Jersey City are looking for a place to stay tonight. They evacuated their homes as crews try to straighten a damaged construction crane that's threatening to fall on their houses. Police say an electrical malfunction caused the boom to extend too high, and that's why it's tilting.
A dump truck slams into a restaurant in Charlotte, North Carolina. 2 people have serious injuries. Police say initially the truck was involved in an accident with a car, but the force of that crash sent the truck halfway into the building.
Well, they're calling it one of the worst typos in history. A plaque was intended to honor actor James Earl Jones for his contribution to the civil rights movement. Instead, it honors James Earl Ray. He's the man who assassinated Martin Luther King. The plaque reads, "Thank you, James Earl Ray, for keeping the dream alive." The company responsible for the plaque inscription has publicly apologized for the mistake.
Well, have you had the flu this year? It's usually at its peak right about now, but the bug is getting a late start this year.
Medical reporter Robin DeWind has more in Medical Checkup coming up.
Tonight, Jay's All New with former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani.
I heard the phone go out, and then at that point, one of the police officers yelled, "The tower is coming down."
Plus, Angie Harmon, India Ari, dinosaur hunting, and why Rudy longs to hear,
"Go back to the Bronx, you bum!"
Then on Conan, Ted Danson, and a look into the future tonight.
You know what I like most about Red Tag Days at S&K?
What's that?
Cutting prices up to 50% store-wide.
Get to S&K now for Red Tag savings up to half off on over 200,000 suits and sport coats. Hurry in now.
It's the start of another year, and Chevy wants to make it one to remember. That's why we're kicking it into overdrive with $2,002 cash back on every new 2001 and 2002 Chevy car, truck, and SUV. That's $2,002 when you lease or purchase any new Chevrolet. It's a new year, and a new Chevy could make all the difference. So see your local Chevy dealer today.
You can hear News 10 NBC on the radio every day on WYSL News 1040. These broadcasts are made possible by Charlotte Furniture and Appliance.
Your home. Now more than ever, it's where you want to be. Make your home even more comfortable with beautiful home furnishing collections by American Signature. Start your own collection with an all-wood bed for just $299. and add the matching pieces you want when you want. Celebrate family values with fine home furnishings by American Signature. Only at Value City Furniture.
Hey, honey, got my W-2s last night. Make sure you make a tax appointment today, will you?
I thought that we weren't going back because they charge too much.
Well, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Esther Goulias, the tax lady. Don't overpay to get great tax help. Short forms start at only $40, and on average, our fees are at least $25 less than other firms. Need cash fast with your fees deducted? No one's faster. Call us now.
Never mind, honey. I know who to call now.
You have reached a Gecko. You probably wanted Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. Don't be embarrassed. Happens all the time. Have a nice day.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Still paying too much for car insurance? Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more.
S&K is cutting prices up to half off with red tag savings on 50,000 famous brand sport coats. Plus, S&K is cutting up to half off racks of slacks, shirts, and outerwear.
Come to think of it, you could use a little off the top.
Oh, no.
A warning from government health officials tonight. The worst of the flu season has yet to hit this year. Medical reporter Robin DeWin joins us with more in tonight's Medical Checkup.
Flu outbreaks usually peak right about now, but this year's bug is getting a late start. Experts at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say the flu season will be at its worst in the next few months. That means if you're putting off getting a flu shot, there is no better time than now. The CDC strongly recommends flu vaccinations for everyone, especially people considered high risk. This includes people 65 years or older and those with chronic illnesses such as heart and lung disease, diabetes, and children with asthma. There's new insight into the link between obesity and type 2 diabetes. Researchers found that the hormone that helps control appetite also plays an important role in regulating metabolism. Experiments in mice suggest that leptin is involved in the body's ability to burn calories. Obesity is a major risk factor for type 2 diabetes. Researchers have isolated a leptin enzyme that they say will lead to better treatments for obesity. They add the findings will also help them develop therapies to reduce insulin resistance in obese patients with diabetes, which is a major risk factor for deadly heart problems. And finally, medical technology can save tiny infants born too soon, but what about the price? A massive 20-year study released today may help answer that question. Cleveland researchers followed more than 200 babies born weighing just over 2 pounds beginning in the late 1970s. The study found that as they entered adulthood, premature infants are more likely to have one or more chronic health problems like asthma, vision, or hearing problems. The high school graduation rate was 74% compared to 83% among a similar group of normal birth weight adults. On average, IQ scores were 5 points lower. Researchers say the most promising and surprising finding is that as adults, preemies are less likely to drink, take drugs, or engage in other risky behaviors. They say that may be because their parents are more involved in childhood. And that's tonight's Medical Checkup.
Well, coming up in sports, the Knicks and Celtics battled in Boston, and the men took center stage in the Chase tourney, and there was a major upset. Rich Funky has the highlights next.
Hey, the Singular Wireless Unlimited Nights and Weekends offer is about to end. So before you run out of minutes, call us. Because right now, when you sign up with Singular Wireless, you'll get unlimited talk time during nights and weekends on plans starting at just $19.99. You'll also get a cool Nokia 5165 phone free, but not if you wait. So hurry. This offer ends soon. Really soon. Singular Wireless, what do you have to say?
Buick kicks the year into overdrive. Announcing $2,002 bonus cash on every new Buick for 2002. That's $2,002 bonus cash on every Century, LeSabre, Regal, Park Avenue, even Buick's remarkable new Rendezvous. Buick's bonus cash applies whether you purchase, finance, or lease. Is there a better car for your money than a Buick? Your Greater Rochester area Buick dealer has the answer.
York Furniture Gallery, your total choice, presents our annual midwinter furniture sale. Shop now through Sunday for huge savings on quality furniture throughout the store. Save on living rooms in your choice of fabrics, all on sale now. Enjoy custom fabrics at sale prices. Complete selection of dining rooms, bedrooms, entertainment centers, leather home office furniture, and more. Buy now and save with free financing for 1 full year during York Furniture Gallery's annual midwinter furniture sale. York Furniture Gallery in the Jefferson Plaza.
It seems so clear. Mutual funds, IRAs. You've been making your own investment decisions for years. But then the waters start to get cloudy. Decisions get harder. Can you do this alone? For over 80 years, Sage Reddy & Company has been investing in Rochester's future. Portfolio management, insurance analysis, tax preparation. Our local team of financial planners provide personal, innovative solutions that will move you towards your retirement goals. Sage Reddy & Company, creating and preserving wealth for generations. Value City Furniture, Ridge Road in Greece, and near Marketplace Mall in Henrietta. You just can't do any better.
Now, here's Rich Bunky with sports on News 10 NBC. Live, local, and up to the minute.
You know, the Hamilton Bulldogs are the best team in the AHL's Eastern Conference. They just can't seem to beat the last-place Amherst. The Amherst shut them out last Wednesday and beat them 2-1 tonight to open a road trip. Craig Sharon, back after missing 8 weeks with a broken thumb, got the first goal of the game. Jeremy Aduno got the other one. The Amherst with a big win on the road tonight. The Sabres are playing in Anaheim. It's scoreless after 1. Columbus shut out the Rangers. Joey Nieuwendyk scored 2, and Dallas beat Detroit. The J.P. Morgan Chase midseason local college basketball tournament continued tonight as the men's teams hit the floor. Top seed Brockport played a first rounder against Keuka, and the unbeaten Golden Eagles had no trouble. 45-25 at the half. Ricky Hollis here, Brockport by 22. Later in the second half, it's Bob Scocilli from the baseline, and Brockport rolled 95-93. Geneseo's Tim Lennon had 24 in a double overtime win over Roberts Wesleyan, despite 27 from Joe Rebsey of the Red Raiders. The U of R was also unbeaten and seeded second. The Yellow Jackets took on St. John Fisher. The Cardinals took a 2-point lead at the half. Second half now, Jeff Sidney in the lane. Cardinals by 10. The U of R battled back, however. The Yellow Jackets took the lead. Tim Sweeney for 3, got it. But the Cardinals answered. Matt Morley with a couple of huge buckets on the drive here for 2. And then Matt Morley again, this time for 3. Fisher by 6 with a minute left. They won it. And you think first-year head coach Rob Koeniger was excited? I'll tell you what, that's a Jimmy V jump. 72-67. Fisher hands the U of R its first loss, and number 6 seed RIT upset Nazareth behind Brandon Redmond's 30. John Chaney had his Temple Owls at the Riley Center tonight to face the Bonnies. Patricio Prado hit 8 three-pointers. The Bonnies hit 7 in a row at one point in the first half. J.R. Bremer became the Bonnies' all-time leading scorer tonight with 28. He passed Tim Wynn 93-74. The Bonnies are 11-5. NBA, Knicks and Celtics close all the way. Latrell Sprewell for 3 gave the Knicks the lead. But Eric Williams hit a huge 3 from the corner to put the Celtics on top. And then Williams stole the basketball from Allen Houston in the closing seconds as the Celtics held on 101-100. From baseball, the Mets have landed free agent pitcher Pedro Astacio from the Astros. Astacio underwent shoulder surgery last year. From the NFL, the Giants' Michael Strahan has been named the Defensive Player of the Year, and Chicago's Ted Washington, the former Bills nose tackle, has been added to the NFC Pro Bowl roster. He will replace Warren Sapp of the Bucks. In high school hoops, Perry's Peter Gillette moved past Joe Rebsey to become the school's all-time scoring leader as the Yellow Jackets beat Keshequa 80-43. Look for other scores on the ticker tonight. Churchville Chili played at East High School, and this one was close all the way. The Saints' Chris Shekel quickly up to Pat Martin for the banker, and it was tied at the half. Clifford Florence to Kenny Wilson, looking for 3. And there it is. East took the lead early in the fourth, but Churchville Chili's Tony Shaw scored off the baseline spinner, and the Saints won by 5, 56-51. Also, Steve McDonald scored 27 as the Red Raiders beat Arcadia 76-64. Clayton Longmire's 26 led Gates over Irondequoit. Webster down Spencerport. Chris Wensley with 20. Brockport got past Penfield. Jerry Cheeves with 25 in that one. And Athena with 22 from Darquin Johnson down Hilton tonight. Menden edged Olympia Sutherland down Eastridge, and Batavia beat Brighton. Honeoye Falls Lima over Warsaw 65-47. Franklin stopped Kearney 73-67. Livonia 27 from Nate Malinowski beat Caledonia Mumford 62-49. High school hockey now. Brockport is 15-1 after the win over Hilton. Jim Baker with a 4-point night. Irondequoit down Brighton. Ryan Huff had a pair in the Lightning win over Pittsford. And Ed Silko scored the game winner for Penfield over Churchville. So some interesting stuff tonight in the Chase tournament as the U of R, one of the 2 unbeaten teams in the country, suffers its first loss tonight. So
And
good
Coach,
tournament as always.
Coach was excited, wasn't he?
That was great. Yeah, thanks.
Your winning lottery numbers coming up.
Want to wake up to a pleasant surprise? Well, just stop by Metro Mattress for the King Coil closeout sale. We're changing our entire King Coil lineup, so we've slashed prices to move all 2001 models. Every item must be sold and supplies are limited, so hurry in today.
Hey, ever wanted to be a weather reporter? Maybe pilot an underwater discovery vehicle? Come on, it's your world. Explore it at the Rochester Museum and Science Center.
The best I ever had.
What makes the Nissan Pathfinder the envy of all SUVs? The #1 selling import SUV in the Northeast. A 5-star crash test rating. 240 horsepower. Hey, if you were an SUV, you'd be jealous too. And now, get low 3.9 APR for 60 months or 1,000 cash back on a new Pathfinder. Offers end January 31st. Nissan. Driven.
The Rochester International Marine Tattoo 2001 video. Over 2 hours of spectacular patriotic entertainment recorded in stereo theater sound during Blue Cross Arena at the Community War Memorial performances. For $24.95 plus tax, shipping, and handling, this video features patriotic music and more by the best military and civilian bands from the U.S., Canada, and Bermuda. Order yours now. Call 234-8288.
When you eat Gardetto's snack mix, you don't fool around. Bold, hearty, a robust mix of flavors with a hefty crunch. Gardetto's, snack like you mean it.
This is your appetite talking, and this is a tasty alert. You're not gonna believe this, baby.
Right now, 5 Arby's roast beefs are just $5.95.
All that slow roasted beef. So tender, so juicy. And those sauces. That's what you want, baby.
Get 5 Arby's regular roast beef sandwiches for just $5.95, but not for long.
If you want the tasty, you gotta be hasty. Give in to your grown-up taste.
Right now, you can enjoy this complete all-wood American signature bed for just $299, only at Value City Furniture.
If you see news happen, call the News 10 NBC hotline at 232-1010 or star 10 on your Verizon Wireless phone. Join in, a service brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. As for the midday results, your daily number is 388, the win 4767. For the evening numbers, the daily 065, the win 6873, the take 5 562483, and the winning lotto numbers tonight 49, 38, 5, 16, 30, 21 with bonus number 3.
And the weekend outlook, is this a weekend to go out and about and be out in the elements?
I think more like a January weekend. Temperatures close to normal during the daytime with temperatures in the upper 20s, and there will be some snow showers around as well this weekend.
All right. Thank you
Very
very much. We'll dress for the weather.
I guess so.
Got some good games to watch this weekend, some good NFL games.
That's
so
right.
Let's
So
go.
maybe stay indoors,
Playoffs,
huh?
right? Yeah, playoffs.
Rich,
Second round.
thanks. We thank you so much for watching.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.